Hey, hi, hello. How are you doing? It's Samantha Sutherland here of Samantha Art, Books and History. Um, Hello to all new people. If you come across my channel, welcome. It's lovely to meet you, and I hope that you enjoy what you see here. If you do, how about giving me a subscribe and a hitting the bell icon? That way you'll be, obviously, as you know, notified when I upload new videos, and I'm hoping that maybe every 2 weeks, it may be once a week. I'm not quite sure yet. I'm still trying to work that out. And so those of you who have been here for a while, welcome back. It's lovely to have you back. But yeah, if you want to subscribe, it'd be lovely if you do. If not, these things happen. You might not like me, I don't know. I've not been up to a huge amount. I've had, unfortunately, massive flare-ups of both chronic bowel disease and chronic illness. Lots of pain, lots of fatigue. I have not felt like reading anything for weeks, so all of my autumnal reading has completely gone out of the window. I decided that instead I would read whatever the heck I want. I'm not even going to theme it this year. I'm just going to take it easy and read what I like to read. So with Christmas coming up, obviously M.R. James, I've not had a chance to sit and read my favourite story yet. So I'm hoping to read like one story a day. I think I might do that through December. I'm not quite sure yet. I have kept to my no buying books thing, although I did buy an art book. I bought it because I was watching Drew and he suggested a book, and it's How to Be an Explorer of the World, Portable Life Museum, I think it's called. It's down there, and I'm just a bit too lazy to reach for it. I have started reading Miss Pettigrew again. I am absolutely loving this book. I can see why. Lil's Vintage World, it's her favourite book. Thank you so much for Miranda as well, for both of you, for the fact that you but it became so highly recommended from them both. I can see why. I can see myself a little bit in Miss Pettigrew, especially before I got married. I often wonder if this is how I would have turned out, a bit of a strange spinster. I never actually read the back of the book. Sorry, I've been reading it thinking, oh, she went for the interview and she's now been thrown into this situation. However, I didn't realise that she's not meant to be in the situation. She's gone to the wrong place. I read the back about 5 minutes ago and was like, oh, that's why she's ended up at some singer's house, apartment, flat, whatever. Miss Pettigrew Lives for a Day is about down-on-her-luck, middle-aged governess sent by an employment agency to the wrong address. Instead of a household of unruly children, she encounters a glamorous nightclub singer called Miss LaFosse. Over a period of 24 hours, her life is changed forever. This charming, funny, light-hearted 1938 novel was an immediate bestseller when first reprinted by Persephone Books, complete with its original illustrations for a new generation of readers, and the illustrations are stunning. It's what the book cover drew me to the book, and then I watched the Persephone review by both Miranda Books and Lil's Vintage World, and I was like, yeah, I should get this book because it sounds like it's very highly recommended, and I can see why. I love these. I have shown this before when I first bought the book, but the illustrations, they kind of break up the chapters and things. So, but also what I like about this book is it's really easy to read. Being dyslexic, I find very small type a challenge, so I don't bother reading very small ones. If I buy one through the post, I'm likely to send it back, or if it's not a huge amount, I would donate it to we have a book swap place in Sale, so I would send it there. But I absolutely love the type they've used. I don't know if we can see that. It makes it so easy to read, much like the Dean Street Press book I read, which was Miss Plum and Miss Penny. Again, because the way it was, the typeface is set out, is very simple and very easy for me to read. So yeah, so I've started reading again. I'm now 40 pages in, and I'm hoping to get a few more read tonight, maybe another chapter, maybe even another 2 chapters, because I do have it at like 20 chapter increments. so I can see how I'm getting on, which is my page flags. And also my page flags have helped me to keep up to where I've left my book. I can remember what I had read previously, but I can't always remember where I've left off. So these book flags have been absolutely fantastic. So tomorrow I'm having knee injections in both of my knees, and I'm hoping that will help me with my spelunking. I'm hoping to take my sketchbook out more, hoping to get out a little bit more than I have been. I really want to give them a really good try this time, because I've had them previously and I've not really done anything after I've had them, because I've either been ill or we've had a family emergency, which meant all of my energy has been shifted to the to whatever's been going on in the family. This time, however, touch wood, I'm hoping to actually get out. I've got a few places I want to visit, and I'm hoping next week possibly to visit the burial place of Sylvia Plath, which I think, if I'm correct, is Heptonstall. And because it's quite a far kind of place for us to get to from where we live, I decided that possibly, my husband doesn't know this bit, but might possibly go a little bit further up for a bit of an afternoon out in Haworth before we have to come and pick our little girl up from school. We'll see what happens next week. I mean, I might not be able to get out up there at all because I'm a bit busy with the spare room. Now up to filling, plastering the holes over, which I can do. Probably Friday after I've sorted out my husband's computer desk. And yeah, and there's a few other places I want to go visit, especially with my sketchbook. I really want to go to Crosby Beach, but it's finding out when the tide's out. Hopefully in the mornings, because we can go straight from dropping my daughter off at school and then going straight there and then having a wander about and then a bit of a sketch, and that'll be kind of cool. One of the reasons I've popped on is I absolutely love poetry, and I want to get more poetry books, and I want to grow my poetry collection. So I thought I'd share a few of my poetry books that I've either started or I'm reading or not started yet. So the first one is Christina Rossetti, and it's The Goblin Market. Now, The Goblin Market was an amazing poem. I might reread it again just to refresh my memory. But from what I can gather, I think it might be a little bit about addiction. Obviously back then, at that time, the 1800s, it wouldn't have been out of place for anyone with an addiction to be in society. I'm only guessing, could be wrong. I'm usually kind of rubbish at trying to translate poems. I just know I like reading poems. That sounds really stupid, like I'm a bit of an idiot, but I don't always quite twig until much later what poems really are about. And these girls go to town, and they're met by the Goblin Market, and I'm guessing they're goblins, and they're warned to never take the fruit from them, and one of them does, and she eats the fruit, and all she can think of and all she can obsess about is this fruit that she'd eaten. It was the most amazing fruit she'd ever eaten, and she has to go back and get it. So her friend has to go back to the Goblin Market to basically get them to release her. And it was an amazing poem. I'd never read it before. I'd heard about it, but I'd never read it. And I finally read it, so it's yeah. And I think my favourite one so far, because I've not really read too many, is A Birthday, which was absolutely beautiful. And I've just got on to I think it might be Queen of Hearts, and I'm just about to get on to A Christmas Carol. So if you are looking for a short read, I got this from the Walker Art Gallery. It cost £3. You can get them from Amazon, and I'm guessing anywhere that sells these. I'm not quite sure. I can probably find, and I'll everything I talk about I'll put in the list below this video, but I'll try and find links to anywhere that sells the books. Also, Ted Hughes. I love Ted Hughes. I've read a couple of the poems from... No, I've not read this one yet. This is Crow. I think this is the one from nearer kind of middle to the end. I'm not sure quite whereabouts this book, excuse me, falls, but I I love Ted Hughes poems. In fact, I've got a book of by an artist, and I forgot her name. She did a whole book of art based on Ted Hughes and where he lived and where he was born. And if I can find it, I will show it to you the next time. I have 2 Ted Hughes books actually. The Ted Hughes, The Hawk in the Rain, which I have been reading, and so far I'm in love with the poems. They're so descriptive. They're so nature bound. I love nature. Anything to do with nature and landscapes, especially the Yorkshire landscape. It's one of my favourite landscapes. They're in Derbyshire. I absolutely love this book. I can highly recommend it. And I've read maybe one. I'd started reading it, but I can still highly recommend it. His poems are absolutely beautiful. He was a poet laureate. And I absolutely am in love with his writing. It's so very descriptive. It's amazing. So yeah, I can definitely recommend Ted Hughes. I mean, I love poetry because yes, it's an easy, quick read, but also you can really get drawn into the imagery that the poems are trying to represent, which is what I find really interesting, especially anything based on nature, which Ted Hughes's poems, I think, were all based on. He did write some about Sylvia, I'm pretty sure he must have done. They were married, but his poems on nature are absolutely stunning. So yeah. Talking of, I have Ariel by Sylvia Plath. This one I bought from World of Books, and someone has doodled in it, and at first I was like, oh, it's ruined. I've got a book with loads of doodles and scribbles in, but actually I've been enjoying looking at what obviously this is someone who's doing an English degree or something. So yeah, as well as reading the poems, I'm looking forward to reading what they've actually written as well, because I've not actually started reading this one yet. So I'm looking forward to reading Sylvia Plath, which I hope to start reading pretty soon. Because like I said, I'm not even going to theme out now with the books. I'm just going to read whatever I would like to read. I want to read Year in the Country and Shooting Party. They're the next ones, I think. Earthbound. I bought this one, I'm not quite sure when. I've read a couple of them, and so far they're very beautiful. They are by D. Leroy. I'm pretty sure that's how you say it. And she's American, and so far I've enjoyed one. I think I've read one of them from here when I first bought the book, but I'm looking forward to reading the rest. I've also bought, I'm going to massacre this name, Tua Fostrom. I studied once at a wonderful faculty, which the way the poems are kind of set out, they're a little bit strange, because it's one long poem, but they're all obviously different poems. But I started reading it, and I do find them quite interesting, and there have been some really good ones, so I'm looking forward to reading the rest of this. And I tracked this one down on eBay when I bought the Golem, and it's Christina Rossetti selected poems, because I'm really enjoying Christina Rossetti's Goblin Market, and I'd like to read more poems. And I think we actually have some of her originals, I think, I might be wrong, in the John Rylands Library in Manchester. I know that there was an exhibition, I think some years ago, on her poems, so it'd be interesting to find that one out. So yeah, that's what I'm hoping to. Well, I want to expand my poetry collection. I have got a few more books downstairs. I forgot to grab them. One is 60 Women Poets, Bodolodak's books. The 2 that I'd already mentioned, which I've already shown, and there's another one down there, and I'm not sure which. I don't know. But after this, I might be reading The Shooting Party, or 2 Weeks in September, or any of the other books I've got on my library cart. I'm not quite sure yet. So anyway, I'm going to leave it there for now, because I have to go and do a few things, and I can hear my daughter's probably coming up the stairs because she's bored. So I will hopefully be making a video next week. If not next week, it will be the week after. Next week will be quite arty based, because I want to share some of my work if I get any more done, and my favourite art books. And also I will share the artist who did the portrait and the landscapes based on the poems of Ted Hughes. They are absolutely fantastic. I managed to get one of the her actual copies with it's signed on the inside. I spent quite a bit on it, but it was a bit of a treat that time, and it was quite a while back when I got it, so I wish I could remember the name of the artist. I can't remember. I follow her on Instagram and Facebook and everything, and I can't remember her name. It's how bad my memory is. Anyway, I will see you again very soon. I'm sorry this was so short, and I will see you hopefully soon. Hopefully next week, if not next week, the week after. And hopefully I'll have some actual work to show you, because I'm hoping to go spelunking. So fingers crossed to get to Hepsom Stall. It would be really nice if I do. Anything I do in the meantime will be on Instagram and on Facebook, so keep checking on there. If you want to pop over there and give them a like and a follow, that would be fab. Again, if you want to subscribe maybe and hit the icon bell button thingy, it would be really lovely. It would help my little channel to grow as well. So I will say goodbye for now, and have a lovely week, what's left of it, and a lovely weekend, and I'll see you all very soon. So bye bye, I'll stop rambling, and okay, bye everyone. Bye bye.